Okay, this is a video just demonstrating what we're going to do in class on Thursday. It's just introduction to factor analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the first data set that we're going to use in class, which is this lecture 11 banking. Okay, we can see when we open it up, we have 5 variables. So the first thing we're going to do is go down to correlate by rate. Now, we're going to load our 5 variables. Now we go to options. We actually don't need to change anything. We're just going to use all the presets of SPSS. I'm going to run the correlation. And basically what we're looking at here is we're looking at these top numbers. And if it's above 0.5 or below negative 0.5, then we know they're highly correlated. So we can see X1 and X3 are X2 and X4, X2 and X5. So the next thing we're going to do is run a dimension reduction factor, load our 5 variables in. You're going to want to hit this rotation box and choose Varimax, and then hit OK. So this shows us a lot of different information. For example, in this total variance explained, um, just in 2 variables, 92% of all the variance is explained. So a high percentage just in 2. And what this did was we go down to the rotated component matrix, we can see that it gave us 2 components and then kind of matched it with the 5 variables. And so just looking down, factor number 1, x2 is above 0.5 and x4 is above 0.5 and x5 is below negative 0.5. And then for factor number 2, x1 is above 0.5 and x3 is above 0.5. So the next step is to kind of combine these data sets, this new data, and we do that by hitting transform compute variables. So first we're going to name it. We're just going to name it fact1. So we're just going to go down the list for number 1. So x2 we put in, and then we're going to hit plus x4. Now here's the tricky part. Now we're going to add x5, but because it's negative, we're actually going to subtract it. Got to remember that, or your answers will be wrong. Then just hit OK. That's going to save. We have to do it again. Just going to delete that. We're going to name this fact2, and now we're looking down this list. So we have x1. Then we are going to add x3 and just hit OK. Now if we go to our data view, we can see that now we have fact1 and fact2. And so what we're going to do next is just graph that. So we go to Graphs, Legacy Dialogues. We're going to use the scatter plot and choose Simple Scatter. Then just put fact1 in the x-axis, fact2 in the y-axis, and just hit OK. And that's what comes out as our graph. Okay, now we're basically going to do the exact same steps, but for the second data set in the class lecture. So we go to File, Open Data. This time we're going to use Lecture 11 Autos. Hit Open. So our first step, correlate by rate. So put these variables in. This RESP, we don't need to add that in. It's just It's referring to different data. So we just so once again we can just look across and we can kind of see which ones are matching up. But we're just going to jump right to dimension reduction factor. Be sure to hit rotation Varimax and hit OK. So it gave us two factors, and if we go down to the rotated matrix, now we are going to go ahead and build our variables. So fact 1. So because the first one is a negative, I'm just going to start down here with sporty plus youth plus fun minus practical. Hit OK. I'll do that again for fact number 2. So I'm going to start with class, then subtract afford, and hit OK. We're actually going to do a different step this time before we go ahead and graph it. We're going to go to Analyze, Descriptives, or Compare Means, and put fact 1 and 2 into the dependent list, and then put this car, it's just a list of the car names, into the independent list. Then be sure to hit Options and get rid of number of cases and standard deviation. We just want to get the mean score. And hit OK. And now we're going to graph these. And in order to graph it, you're going to have to actually go to File, New, Data. And you actually have to manually input this. So I'm just going to scroll this over. Right click, insert variable. Right click, insert variable. Right click, insert variable. You do this in your data view. Then after you do that, click over to the variable view. And we just want to name these fact 1, fact 2, car. And then also put that in the label. Fact 1, fact 2, car. Now, the type. Numeric is okay for fact 1 and 2, but on the car, we have to change it to string. Let me demonstrate that. You just scroll over it. This should pop up. Click it and choose string and actually give it more characters because Volkswagen is going to be bigger than, we'll just do 15 characters. Okay, then you go back to your data view and you just input the numbers. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to make what's called the perceptual map, which you might already know about. Okay, so we have our data put in. Now we're just going to go back up to this graph, legacy dialog, um, the scatter, then go to simple scatter. So to find, we want fact 1 in the x-axis, fact 2 in the y-axis, and we want this car in the set markers by. Then we hit OK, and it's going to give us this perceptual map. And so this basically gives us, where each car is and how it ranks between fact 1 and fact 2. I'm not going to demonstrate this, but in class, you will also learn this chart builder, and you'll learn how to use this to make pretty cool charts. Um, but you'll go over that in class. There's really no need to demonstrate this in this video.